Well, I hope you all had a nice weekend, because apparently WD had a quite shocking few days. Well, let's face it, they've had a shocking month or so, and they have been updating a lot of users on the ongoing cyber incident that we talked about here on the channel a few weeks ago, but of course has been separated and distributed across many different websites. And this video is going to serve as a small update for the extra information that we have learned since the initial coverage of the cyber incident. It should be highlighted, however, that the original coverage of this, WD were pretty quiet about what they did. To give you a quick summary, we did a big article on this, it's linked below, and I will be updating this article with newer information. But long story short, WD were impacted by a cyber incident. They were targeted, and they were very close-lipped about the nature of the incident, outlining that they had been targeted for one reason or another, and that they allowed their cloud services to be removed from access, I believe for the better part of 10 days or so, as well as elements of their online shop being disabled as well. And in that period, they were very tight-lipped, although they did highlight to a few users how to utilize their systems locally. It was a little bit convoluted in the fashion in the way to do that. But other than that, in the meantime, along with a bunch of other websites starting to find out more information, one of the big names there, TechCrunch, was talking to the attackers and found out more information from them regarding what they had achieved and what they had spoken to with WD in that interim. And WD were very quiet about that. And again, we covered all of this in the previous video there. But now we have got a proper update from WD on this and other information as well. So first and foremost, they have issued a public statement and they have detailed that information by users was obtained. WD databases were accessed and data was copied from there. Obviously, they've still got the information there. They would have. They're going to have endless storage. But still, nonetheless, user information was obtained there. Now, some of it they're suggesting was encrypted or hashed. Stuff like passwords and bank information, so only partial information was achieved. But still, that is clear indication that everything that was on the TechCrunch article there with regards to the targeted amount of data and what was obtained is indeed true there. Although the extent to it, we're still not entirely certain, both from the attackers as well as Alfie, the website they're utilizing to open up the debate and, you know, talk publicly about this, as well as WD themselves not really outlining the extent to the impact. They have been in contact with multiple users who were impacted by this. As you can see from this letter, this is circulating around a lot around the internet, that contacted individual users, and basically WD putting their hands up and saying this happened, and effectively telling people what to be wary of, and if you need any further information to contact them. It's a very well crafted letter there. But moving forward from that, we can talk about kind of other sources of information that have detailed further updates on this. BleepingComputer, of course, big name. They have been kind of outlining this, done a couple of great write-ups on this. One of the things they do talk about that was very interesting is when they do go into a little bit more detail. If we go down there, sorry about the drop in frame rate there, that's OBS, talking about how the main threat actors are not actually part of the Al5 ransomware operation group, that they're utilizing their channels in order to contact WD and discuss it online. Another person that is just really going above and beyond, Dominic Alveri, a cyber analyst and security researcher, is kind of sending more information and updates about this than anyone else. And I recommend, I'm going to link to all of these tweets and, of course, his account below. But just individual bits of information there. And again, we've only got the information we're seeing from these tweets here. We don't know how accurate these are, but they seemingly indicate that not only was the Black Cat attack group there managing to intercede into video conferencing with WD with their cyber analysts there, but on top of that, just more information and discussion there about how they're communicating with WD, the nature and the state of that data there, and kind of scripting their own narrative there all the way through. And again, this is by no means any kind of defense for what they are doing, but it has to be said that while WD are very slowly plodding out information on this, the rest of the internet seems to be abuzz with more information about this indeed. This kind of open letter here from them detailing everything about what they're saying they have done and how, you know, obviously they don't pertain to be the good guys in this, but they're not saying that the WD are either. Again, do link to that in their description. But in the meantime, the WD website is still not tip top. When it comes to their eShop, we've seen this down for maintenance page up and down. And now, of course, you can go on the website, and if you do try to buy pretty much any product, you still can't purchase anything via their own online shop. So again, we're looking at WD Red Plus Drive, something they always have. And instead of the traditional, you can buy it button there, we're still seeing the whole you can find it at a reseller. And this is pretty consistent across the majority of the site there. And it's, as you can see, they're even highlighting it's still very much there that they're unable to process orders at this time. Now, whether that is that they're still analyzing their back end for, try to identify the attack vector, it has been quite a long time now that this has been rolling out overall. Again, I said this would be a very, very short update here. But mainly it's my chance to kind of direct you guys to a lot of this information here. But also, if you are an existing WD user, I mean, some of this is covered in their own notifications and information if you have been impacted. But we still don't know if users who have been impacted, only those are being notified, or is it just a blanket thing? But I will say, one, if you are a WD NAS user at the moment, be suspicious of absolutely any communication that the brand has with you. Why is that? Because you don't know whether the attackers here are going to be utilizing that to get in contact with you to kind of fill in the blanks that there may be in that encrypted information or hashed information. So one, be suspicious, double check the domains, never ever exchange any of your information with WD if they email you, because they won't ask for that if you have a pre-existing login. But just double check, always HTTPS, there at the top left, always use encrypted. Secondly, if you are currently using your WD and you're re-establishing that connection with the cloud services, change all of your logins. Again, use randomized logins there, but change all of them. The reason being that even if partial information has been obtained, often that's enough to push a brute force hack through. So change all of those logins, okay? And third thing, if you do have backups in place, make sure your backups not only are in order, which is something you should already be doing, but make sure you've got degrees of separation. Make sure those logins are different. Make sure you've got your two-step in place. Make sure they're encrypted as well. But moreover, just make sure your logins have a degree of separation from your WD access there. Don't have it with things like rsync in either direction, where having access to the WD side of your data could invalidate that backup. Have some of those time scheduled backups there. Again, degree of separation, not just local. But again, this is a small update on this situation here, mainly just to give you guys a little bit more information about the nature of things and what WD are saying about this. And again, if I don't think we'll be doing another update on this, because right now WD have kind of a history of being a little bit more restrained about what they give people information on this. But don't be surprised if any of the sources that I've discussed above as well online. And again, shout out to TechCrunch, and certainly a shout out to BleepingComputer as they update more and more on this weirdly growing situation that I thought would have rolled up by now, but never mind. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'll update this article here with all the information that we've garnered with over the last few days. And of course, if there is further information required, I'll put them as links in the description. But thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great week. Keep your data and your backups in order, and I will see you next time.